Morning. Relatively nice day in the offing. 54 for a high, partly cloudy skies. Could be worse. Could be raining. Don't really have any rain in the forecast until the weekend. And about a 20% chance on both Saturday and Sunday. But
You see all that sunshine out there, Richard? The other way.
I was going to say no.
Look in the lobby. You can see the sun coming through.
Oh, okay.
See that? How gorgeous it is.
It's lovely.
It's beautiful. We got sun, bright sun.
Sit here and look out the window at it all day
It's very nice.
because it still looks cold.
Because we need it.
I don't want to do it.
Maybe it will warm up higher than we think because we're going to get bright sun.
You are just dreaming, aren't
I'm
you?
hoping.
I love that.
I'm just
You're
trying to
very-
be optimistic.
Yeah. Maybe it'll get to 80. Okay,
Maybe.
54.
No, it's
54.
Not going to 80.
Where we're looking right now. Calm down. 8:06, it is Tuesday, and that is the 9th of December. We're about to enter double digits. Ooh,
That's scary.
2 weeks and 2 days
That's too
away
close,
from
yeah.
Christmas. 2 weeks and 2 days. Man, oh, man.
Kind of scary.
Gift cards
Chop,
all
chop,
around.
get
Gift
going.
cards all around, I'm telling you. Gift cards and Contract Brothers gift baskets all around. That's all anybody's getting. I haven't done jack. Thank goodness Amazon is really working on this same-day delivery thing, you know?
They're working hard.
They're trying to get a lot of this, and so I may be leaning on them pretty
And that's
heavily
the other
here.
thing. Y'all be careful because I know this happened a couple times last year or the year before where I thought I had plenty of time, you know, like 12 days out. I'm like, it says right here it's going to get here in like 5 days. Okay. And then
No.
you get closer. Well, it's delayed. It's over here.
Oh, it's in
Then
Memphis.
there's a snowstorm up in the Northeast. Now we're delayed another 2 days.
Whoopsie.
Not here for Christmas.
Well.
That's the gamble you take.
That's where you send a picture of the item.
Here,
you
this
go.
is what you were going to get.
Yeah.
I don't know when you're going to get it.
Sitting in a warehouse somewhere in Poughkeepsie.
In Poughkeepsie.
Alabama Tree Pros, 308-4158. When the tree needs to be taken down, you want professionals on the job. Don't call a bunch of your beer buddies, have them come over and hurt yourself. That's a bad idea. You want to get the guys who know what they're doing, and they're going to do it safely. They're going to do it expertly. They're going to do it quickly. This is exactly what Alabama Tree Pros does. If you're talking about taking it all the way down, they also just trim. They can just do a trim job on it. Just take a couple of limbs off, the ones that are scraping up against the siding, scraping up against the shingles, if you're having a problem with that, the ones who are threatening your neighbor's windows, whatever. You can get that done, or you can have it taken all the way down under the ground, that is to say, grinding up the stump and making everything just disappear as if it never existed. They're really good at this. They do it all the time. Alabama Tree Pros, 308-4158, by the way. Less expensive than the other guys as well. Go ahead, shop around. You're going to go with Alabama Tree Pros. AlabamaTreePros.com online. 308-4158 on the telephone. More than 100 people have been sickened with a highly contagious virus that causes such forceful vomiting, sufferers can experience cracking in their ribs.
What?
Yep.
Oh, God, that's really sick.
Last week we talked about scromiting, which is screaming and vomiting.
Yes.
Now we're talking about cracking your ribs. It's a rib cracking disease. Among the 2,007 guests and 640 staff aboard German cruise line's Ada Diva ship, 95 passengers and 6 crew members have reported being ill, according to the CDC.
I just can't think of a worse place to get that sick than a cruise ship.
You're on.
Because you're nowhere to go. There's
Yeah.
nowhere to go. You're stuck in the room, and then you get quarantined into your cabin, and it's 2x4.
Yep.
Oh.
You're supposed to be enjoying yourself, and instead you're.
I would probably say, could I please go up on the upper deck so I can at least breathe some fresh air?
No, we can't have you wandering around amongst
No.
the other passengers, getting them ill. The outbreak of norovirus was reported on November 30th, with the predominant symptoms being diarrhea and vomiting. Oh, great, when you can get it out of both ends. That's when you really got something. Cruise departed for a 133-day trip from Hamburg, Germany on November 10th, making stops in England, Canada, the U.S., Mexico, Panama, Japan, Taiwan, Singapore, Thailand, and South Africa, among others, scheduled to return to Germany on March 23rd of 2026.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
This is a huge cruise ship. How many? 133-day cruise. Who's affording to be able to do this?
A bunch of German people.
Wow.
2,007 guests and 640 staff.
I'm just okay. That just seems a long. I'm not sure that I'd want to be on a cruise ship that long.
And with
You
all
know what I
those
mean?
people, that's a
No.
lot of people.
No.
I mean, I'm
Let's break
looking
it
at
up. How about 4 trips through the year that's like 10 days?
this boat is huge. I'm looking at a picture of the boat here.
I mean, it's when you think
Ship.
of cruise
They
ship,
call
this
it a
is not
ship.
this is not like
Yeah.
500 passengers. This is probably several thousand.
2007,
2,000.
in fact, and
Thank you.
640 crew members.
Jeez.
So, yeah, you're talking about a very, very large boat. And you're talking about 95 people who are guests and 6 who are crew members who are stuck in their cabins, vomiting forcefully and cracking their ribs.
That's really
You know what the most
awful.
depressing part of that is, though? Because what's the number one thing people talk about when they come back from a cruise? Oh, my God, the food. There was so much food. Every time we turned around, they were putting food in my mouth. Oh, they had a great buffet, a fantastic breakfast, incredible dinner, everything, lunch, brunch, everything. It was great. So much food. And here you are, vomiting.
Vomiting.
Every single thing that you put in your mouth comes back up again. And it's like, oh, this food, I can't even eat it. I
No.
can't even get at it. Make sure you stay hydrated, people.
Yeah, they. It's bad enough that you would be that sick where you're vomiting, and then if you crack a rib, if you've ever broken a rib, how everybody says I've never broken one, but everyone that I know that has broken a rib says it hurts so bad to breathe.
Yep.
To take a deep breath
Oh, yeah.
is almost impossible.
Done it, been there. It sucks.
Oh.
Sucks a lot.
And then you need to vomit again because you're sick and you've got a cracked rib. That's just awful.
Best cruise of my life.
Oh, you'll never forget that.
That's such a great time.
And then when you're through with the virus and you've
Yeah.
been in this room all this time, you still got how many more days left on the cruise? You're not getting off the boat anytime soon.
No, I'm afraid not. You'll eventually have to get back out there among the populace where other people have the norovirus and you can catch it again. Yeah.
Here we go, round and round. We need to take that boat in. This cruise ship needs to go home.
That's it. Turn around, head back to Deutschland, über alles.
Get your money
Get
back.
to the get to the motherland, the fatherland. Jawohl. Imagine that. How was the cruise? Oh,
Awful.
it was fantastic. You get any pictures? Here's my room. Here's another
Here's
room
here's
from another
picture
angle.
of the toilet
Yeah.
that I went to 5 million times.
Here's my cracked ribs. This is an X-ray. Take a look at this.
Sounds like a lot of fun, doesn't it?
Oh my God.
Yeah, sign me up for the 133-day trip.
133
I'm not doing
days.
that.
I guess you don't really think about that. I'm sure they were very excited. They went into it with a lot of promise and expectation. Nobody thinks like, but what if I get sick during that 133 days? What if I'm scromiting? Nobody thinks about that.
There's a lot of things that
With a
could go
broken
wrong.
rib.
No.
Oh, man. No, thank you. Work Trucks is downtown at 2324 3rd Avenue South and online at worktruckswithanaxllc.com. They have got the flatbeds. They've got the box trucks. They have got the cargo vans and the passenger vans. You can count on Work Trucks to take good care of you. And, many, many people, once they've purchased one truck from Work Trucks, they go back again and again and again because they know that they can trust Work Trucks to get them a quality vehicle at a great low price. All of them have been through a 125-point inspection. They're all painted white. They're ready for your logo. And, some of them so new they still have factory warranties on them. Otherwise, trade finance, get an extended warranty. Do it all. Work Trucks, online with an X, Work Trucks LLC, or downtown at 2324 3rd Avenue South. Work Trucks, where they are all about trucks. 820 Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. We have got a pretty good-looking day in front of us here with a high of only 54 degrees. Tomorrow, we get a little warmer, 59. It looks like Thursday we're back down to 54. Friday, 61 degrees. We break that 60-degree mark, and we might do that again over the weekend, which would be kind of nice. We originally were told that the weekend was going to be freezing cold. Now they're backing off that, and it looks like it might actually be a pretty good couple of days there. Maybe even you can go outside without a jacket on kind of weather. Huh?
Are you sure about that?
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying
Well,
this.
don't be getting up everybody's hopes.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
A minute ago, I was like, look out, there could be some rain. And you were like,
It's not going to rain. It's only 20%.
and you sounded exactly
Well, that
like
sounds like
that.
your
was almost
ex-wife. I didn't want to
No,
sound
that was
like
almost
that.
a dead-on impersonation of
Wow.
you. But I bet people probably thought that was you for a second.
20%.
Now
is-
suddenly I'm saying, look, it's going to be like in the 60s. You could go outside without a jacket on. Oh, my God, don't do that.
well, I'm saying.
What are you doing? You're going to burst into flame.
Here's what I'm saying.
Why would you leave
is
the house?
Last hour we talked about the weather. We said 60 possibly tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
60 possibly for Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
But wouldn't it be nice if we saw even warmer temperatures for the weekend
Yes,
instead
I-
of the
like
freezing cold?
63. They're predicting possibly 63 on Saturday.
So they were way wrong yesterday on
They
this
were
blast.
completely off. In fact, I'm done
Why
listening
would
to
they
them
do
now.
that? Why would they say
Either that
we're
or they
gonna
were
have
right yesterday and they're terribly wrong today.
Something's not
I'm not
matching
sure.
up here. Where's James Spann? I need answers.
All right, get him on the phone.
Let's go,
I want
James.
to
What's
talk
up with
to
this?
somebody about something over
How can
here.
we go from an Arctic blast to 64 degrees for the weekend?
Maybe just be thankful
Okay.
that this is a great opportunity to go to Rodney's Marine and take a look at the fantastic boats they have there.
Let me
Talk
tell you
about-
something.
yeah.
If you're looking for a Christmas gift, this is it.
It's a good one.
It's a big one. It's a great one.
Come on, bring it.
Mm-hmm.
Silver Wave and Starcraft pontoons and tri-tunes from Rodney's Marine. They've got that Suzuki Power with the 5-year warranty. That's a factory warranty, not a third-party warranty. So Suzuki Power is going to get you across the lake, and if you need to up-power that thing, you can do that as well. So you're going to I like this boat, but could you throw one more on there? One more Suzuki. I want to run some drugs out of Venezuela.
Oh, no.
Is there a way?
I
No?
don't think Rodney wants you to do that.
Probably wouldn't let you. Don't think it's a good idea. Not on these boats anyway.
No, but they will fly. We've been on these boats and love Rodney's Marine. If you're thinking about purchasing a boat, in all seriousness, what a Christmas gift this would be. Rodney will get it on that trailer and get it into the driveway of your home. And oh my goodness, when warmer weather rolls around all the lakes we have, you can go to whatever lake you want to. Rodney's Marine will deliver that boat all across central Alabama. And then if it needs any kind of service, maybe you want to add some accessories. There's another idea for Christmas. Lights, stereo systems, I don't know, life jackets, the fun floats that are out there in the water that the kids love to be on, adults too. It's a ton of fun. Your family will love having a boat. Rodney's Marine is where you want to get that boat. Go out and see them. They're located on Highway 231, Lake Logan Martin and Cropwell, 525-1500. Follow them on Facebook or go to rodneysmarine.com.
Do it. Experts are suggesting, based upon the arguments that they heard, that the Supreme Court is likely to expand presidential control over independent federal agencies, signaling support for President Donald Trump's firing of board members. You know, he fired a member of the FTC, saying that she was sort of detrimental to his plans, and also that she's, being investigated for mortgage fraud, which is not good. But he said, this is not the kind of person that I need on this board. I have plans. She's not fitting into them. I want somebody else. And immediately people lost their minds. You can't fire members of that board. How dare you? Yeah, that's an independent board. Now, interestingly, it was set up by Congress, okay? As are so many of these boards, the EPA, the FDA, et cetera, et cetera. They're set up by Congress, and then they get members put on them, usually by the president. Usually they have to go through congressional approval. But there has to be some overarching oversight to it, doesn't there? Otherwise, these board members could lose their minds and go off and do whatever it is they wanted without anybody being able to say, hey, you can't do that, you shouldn't do that, don't do that, or we're going to throw you off the board. You can't have 535 bosses is the point,
Yeah.
which is what you would have if you say, well, Congress is in charge of that. Really? So we have to get a majority of all 535 to decide to fire this person? I think they have more important things to do.
Isn't it interesting with this particular president? Because we didn't hear, I don't even think a blip. Maybe there was one or two things that happened. Under the Biden administration, we sure are getting a lot of clarity through the Supreme Court and these justices time and time again, where people are, losing their ever-loving mind saying that Donald Trump doesn't have the power to do this or do that. If you're president, yes, you have the power to do this. But Donald Trump is like, okay, send it on over to the Supreme Court, let the Supreme Court rule on it, and we'll get clarity on this once again. I mean, how many times have we seen this with Trump? It seems like on a daily basis we're waiting on another decision by the Supreme Court because the left is like, well, you don't have that power, Donald Trump, and he does.
In many cases, he does, yes. Truly amazing how often he gets challenged, though, by the left on stupid stuff. This is actually a good thing to challenge him on because there hasn't been any clarity. For 90 years, they've said, oh, the president can't fire this person. It makes me wonder if he's not going to try this with Jerome Powell as well.
He may.
And replace the head of the Fed.
Yeah, he's seeing what happens here, and they rule that he has the power as president, then, he can feel a little more comfortable with doing some of the other things that he wants to do.
Well, it does seem a bit absurd that the president can name somebody and put them on the board,
but you can't take them off?
can't take them off? I think if they fall under the auspices of the executive branch, he's got to have that power. And no matter who that he is, I mean, I'll say the same thing. If it's Joe Biden, if it's Gavin Newsom, God forbid, if it's AOC, God forbid, the president will have that power, and they get to kind of run things the way they want. ICE is warning Illinois residents that the state is releasing violent, criminal, illegal aliens despite having ICE detainers on them. 1,768 criminal aliens with active detainers have been released since January of 2025, and there are more on the way. They're just saying, hey, listen, do you know what your state is doing? Because they're not telling you. At no point is the state of Illinois going to go like, look how cool we are. We're letting hardened criminals out onto the streets because we don't want to hold them for ICE. Because the residents would be like, you're doing what now?
This is cut your nose to spite your face type deal. Do they understand what they're doing? You're talking about releasing illegal aliens, criminal aliens, into your community. It's not like you're releasing them in, you're in Illinois and this is in California. You're releasing them in Illinois, in your state. And they're illegals, and they've committed crimes, assaults, burglaries, rapes, homicides. It goes on, and you just say, "Have y'all lost your mind? Because you're anti-ICE and you're pro illegal immigrants. You're going to release all of these guys, and yet they're hardened criminals. They're probably going to come. There's going to be somebody that maybe even a loved one that's affected by these guys getting out, and yet they still do it anyways because they're anti-ICE.
Well, again,
it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
In generalities, it sounds good. On the face of it, when you say, well, we refuse to cooperate with ICE and we think what they're doing is terrible, and so we're not going to detain any of these people, which means eventually they're going to be let go. When you actually put a fine point on it and you show pictures and you go, here's a rapist, here's a murderer, here's somebody who committed sexual assault against children, here's a carjacker, here's a guy who drove drunk and killed a family of 4, and you go, and we're just letting them all back out into the public. At that point, as citizens of Illinois, they're kind of going, hold on a second, wait, let's rethink this. Because, the meat and potatoes of it, when you get down to where the rubber meets the road, there's a lot of cliches.
Yeah, I heard that.
Is what it is.
But it isn't. Again, I don't understand. It's like a kid not eating the vegetables in his dinner because he's mad about having to eat the vegetables. Well, you're going to go hungry by not eating the vegetables.
That's right.
These folks are going to have to deal with the criminals because you're releasing them in your own state and into your blue cities.
My goodness.
You're only hurting yourselves.
The stupidity is
It is
overwhelming.
stupidity.
$12 billion aid package for farmers hit hard by the China trade war. There was a long time there where no soybeans were being purchased by China, which is funny because, they need a lot of soybeans. I don't know where they were getting them, and they usually get them from the United States because our prices are inexpensive. But, of course, we did slap some tariffs on stuff. as a result of saying, China, you're tariffing all of our stuff, and we're tariffing none of your stuff. So maybe it's time that we reverse the process here and start creating problems for you. And suddenly, when it becomes your problem, you'll sit down at the negotiating table. And that is largely what has happened. But by that point, the damage was done. So a lot of money needs to go into these farmers' pockets to make up for the crops that they weren't able to sell, some of them of which just went bad in the field, which is a shame. We're living in a country where there are people who are hungry out there. We don't need cotton and sorghum and soybeans and rice and wheat and potatoes to go bad in the field if we can avoid it.
We sure don't. We sure don't. Hey, coming up in a minute, we've got the Jeff joke of the day.
The Jeff
It's
joke
a good one.
No, it's not.
It's a really, really good one.
I read it already. It's not
Richard,
that
you
good.
weren't supposed to see it.
It's not pretty good.
It might be. We'll let the audience determine that. And Steve.
We'll let Steve will be the one who decides that. But yeah, I'm just shaking my head.
He's trying to get us in the Christmas spirit, and this one does.
Yeah, no, actually, I've less Christmas spirit after reading it. To be honest with you, I'm turning Jewish now. animals part is coming up. I was so enamored of the Muppets when they were rocking along. I remember watching this very vividly. It was John Denver and the Muppets, and they did a number of Christmas songs and a number of other just sort of weird, funny sketches and things of that nature. And I don't know, some of the writing on the Muppets was downright subversive. It was just good old-fashioned comedy. The mind of Jim Henson was very strange. And I don't know what it was, but I was completely smitten with them. And so was my dad, by the way. He took to them like nobody's business after he had sat down and watched a couple of episodes with me. And then I caught him watching it alone one day. I was like,
hooked.
oh, yeah, there
Dad
you go.
was hooked. You brought him in and hooked him.
You're watching a show with puppets, Dad. You understand what's going on here?
And he's entertained, though.
Yes, exactly.
That's good.
I loved him. 836 Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5 and Talk995.com. Gavin Newsom had a picture in the paper. I guess it was at a New York Times forum, but the New York Post picked it up and threw a picture of it up on their front page or one of their pages of him sitting in a pose that looks for all the world like somebody had just kicked him in the nads. It's that kind of he's got his
legs crossed.
Yeah, he's got his legs crossed, and one of them is his ankle is sort of crooked over, and it looks like he's just, is he a little kid trying to hold it in so he doesn't go to the bathroom, or what the deal is? But they called it a testicle crushing pose.
That just sounds painful.
I will tell you this: it's Jesse Waters on Fox at night.
Yeah.
Every opportunity he gets, he steals Gavin Newsom's man card, because Gavin does this, and so does Barack Obama. Mm-hmm. The crossing of the legs, and I don't mean just a little cross.
No.
Sometimes guys,
crossing at
whatever.
The ankles is pretty
This
common,
is like, you're right. He's tighter than a rubber band with these two legs crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's awkward to see.
So then, in response to the Post making fun of it, Gavin Newsom, again, just doubles down and does something stupid and puts a Photoshop picture of him in a yoga pose on X, and it just looks absolutely horrible.
No.
It's not something anybody should be looking at, I can tell you that. And then, of course, that just creates a whole bunch of opportunities for memes, and they begin, showing up left, right, and center. Everywhere you turn, there's memes of Gavin, because in this day and age with AI, almost anybody can create a meme that looks exactly like Gavin Newsom doing something he's not supposed to be doing. This guy is...
And the memes are hysterical.
Yeah.
Because he's in these yoga poses where he's on the floor and his feet are up and they're actually touching his face. And then in the background, you've got Tim Walz kind of doing the same.
Yeah.
Same
Nancy Pelosi.
There's one with,
AOC.
There's another one with Barack's wife, Michelle, and Kamala Harris. And he's in pink, tight leotards with a 90s crop top shirt on. It's hysterical. It really is funny.
It's just...
It's over the top.
Look, this guy cannot be allowed to be president of the United States. Look at what he has done to California. And it's amazing to me because the Democrat marketing machine is so good that they are able to make you forget that and just talk about, but he's going to do this and he's going to do that. It's like, no.
He's already had his opportunity.
He was mayor of San Francisco for a while, and then he became governor of California. He destroyed both of those places. I mean, nothing good came out of his leadership in either of those two places. So
why would you vote for him?
Why would you want him to actually do the same thing to the country?
It's exactly reminiscent of Kamala Harris having all that time as VP doing nothing at the southern border. You both have report cards. Gavin Newsom has his report card and the way that he has handled things in California. Kamala Harris had it when she was running for president. Both of you get Fs. You get Fs on these report cards, and anybody that gives them a check by their name and votes for them, you know what? This is on you. You know what there's not an unknown here. with
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom.
No.
You know what you're going to get with Gavin Newsom. And you're going to get some slick hair and a lot of fancy talk. And when something needs to be done because it's convenient for Gavin Newsom, I think about the homeless and all the trash and everything, and all of a sudden he decided to clean that up because delegates were coming into California. That's when he'll respond. Otherwise, he could give a rip. And he's destroyed California. You want him in D.C. as our president?
No.
I don't think so.
No, good hair Gavin has no place in Washington, D.C. But watch, as I said, the Democratic machine is so powerful and so well moneyed, they will figure out a way to create the concept of, well, none of that really matters. They'll point to one or two things that they will say is good stuff that he did while he was in California. They'll forget completely about the Palisades fire, which he did nothing on. They'll forget completely about, as you mentioned, the homeless problem in San Francisco that went unchecked for years. He was the one it started under. You know, he was the one that really just allowed these tent cities to form and become miles long in San Francisco and in Golden Gate Park, and it was just absolutely atrocious. Didn't do anything about that. One thing after another, as the state of California has slid downward into the abyss, took a $40 billion surplus. No, I'm sorry, it was a $20 billion surplus, turned it into a $20 billion deficit, which meant he spent $40 billion, amazingly, in California, and they can't point to anything that it achieved. The high-speed rail that was supposed to get done. Not one yard of track got laid before Donald Trump pulled the federal funding. It was like, what are you guys doing? We've poured, billions of dollars into this. You've accomplished nothing. No, we're done. We're pulling the plug on this. Again, Gavin Newsom, the guy in charge when all of this has taken place. And you know how it's going to be framed? Well, J.D. Vance is a terrible person. J.D. Vance is just awful. We can't let him.
If it's J.D. Vance that's running against, if that's how it ends up, against Gavin Newsom, man, I'm poking holes at everything that Gavin Newsom didn't do in California. I mean, put the spotlight back on Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
Is this who you want to be president? He can't run a state, much less an entire country. This one's easy. Gavin Newsom, you're going to make this so simple on those that are going to run against you.
My hope would be that he gets a little beat up during the primaries, because I know there's going to be other people who want to run. J.B. Pritzker is already making noise about wanting to run. I'll tell you, here's another funny thing, by the way, J.B. Pritzker, who is the governor of Illinois. I saw a quote from him the other day talking about Trump, and he's like, well, he acts like he's a successful billionaire, but take it from a real billionaire. He's not successful, and he doesn't understand money at all. And I'm thinking, everything they say about Trump, that he was born into money, not true. He borrowed, I think, $1 million from his dad for his very first construction project, paid him back, by the way, and has turned it into a $2 billion empire, not to mention however much Truth Social is worth right now, in which he owns a huge amount of it. So he probably owns like 51% at least, because he's going to be the deciding factor in the thing. So I mean, he's worth as much as $5 billion, and he's worked for every bit of that to get to that point. J.B. Pritzker, born into a wealthy family, they dislike him so much that they kicked him out of the family business, and he ran off to become governor of Illinois. I mean, this is a perfect example of the pot calling the kettle black, Couldn't be further off. But Pritzker's going to run. Cory Booker's going to run. AOC's probably going to run. Kamala's talking about running again.
That's the best they have.
Great. Let's
That's the best they have.
Just let them eat each other alive during the primary, and maybe we'll have 3 or 4, could be 2 people, 3 people that are looking on the Republican side. I really think you're going to end up with a J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio ticket in the long run.
It'd be pretty solid.
It'd be a great ticket.
I think so.
I'd vote for them in a heartbeat.
Can we bring Condi Rice back, please?
She doesn't want it,
she doesn't
man.
want it. Condi, where are you?
Really
I know you're listening.
It's the reason that I want her.
Right here in Birmingham.
I want her to be the president more than anything, because she doesn't want to be president.
That's why she'd make a great president.
She'd make a great president. I don't really ever want to vote for somebody who wants it too much, That's part of the problem. Denson and Fuller, my insurance agents, they are independent and they're local, and they don't work for any big company. They work for you. They will shop around, find you the absolute best deal on the best coverage possible, and they will take such good care of you, because that's what they do. Local and independent on Crescent Avenue in Homewood. That's Denson and Fuller, 414-1476, or find them online at densonandfuller.com. What in the world is a family-friendly airport? I just saw where the Department of Transportation is pushing for more family-friendly airports. What are they? Dens of strippers in there now? What are you talking about? What?
Family friendly.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
I don't either.
Aren't all
They're
the
not-
airports
they're-
family friendly?
they're not family unfriendly now,
they
are
allow
they?
the kids on the plane and
Yeah.
they give them a little extra access to get on the plane before everyone else,
I wish
along
they
with
wouldn't,
those that need
actually.
assistance.
Seems unfair.
Does it? No,
Yeah.
let them go.
I'm like the kids should wait. They should be dead last.
Okay, Richard.
You've got an entire lifetime of flying in front of you. These older people, this could be their last flight. They should get on first. That's what I say.
That mom with 3 kids in a stroller, you're just like, oh, I feel for you.
Bless her heart.
And then they'll sit right by you.
Uh-huh, right next to you.
Or behind you, kicking the seat the whole time.
You know, my last flight to I flew out to Arizona for my nephew's wedding, and lovely wedding, lovely. Everything went just great. But I was watching this girl in the airport, and she had this ginormous sub sandwich. It wasn't like a 6-inch sub. She went full throttle, like double meat.
Nice.
And she's like 6 feet from me on the floor. I mean, it was packed in the airport. Everybody waiting on different flights at the end of it. And she downed that entire sandwich, and I said, I bet you money that I end up with her sitting right beside me.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? She sat right beside me.
Was she a larger woman?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. All righty. Even larger still after the sandwich.
I was just like, oh, good heavens. Isn't that funny? You kind of scope people out. It was a Southwest flight, so there's no assigned seating.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, well, who's going to end up next to me?
They're changing that, by the way.
I
on
know,
Southwest.
and the
You-
new year.
You got one of the last ones.
I know.
Good for you.
That
Aren't
was
you lucky?
joyful.
Sitting next to-
Woo!
sitting-
Lucky for me, 3.5-hour flight.
Sitting next to Fatty Boombalatti there. Very nice.
But I watched her eat that sandwich. I was like, I'm gonna end up with her. She's gonna be sitting right beside me.
Goodness. Actually, she was so big she sat next to everyone on the plane. That's,
I was like, oh no. You know, everybody's trying to put their jackets and pretend like the seat next to them is already taken.
Oh, yeah, so
and
many-
then the flight attendants are like, if you have items in the middle seat next to you, please pick that up so we can get people seated. And I'm like,
well, you know,
jeez.
you made her sit in the middle?
I had the aisle seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the
All right.
middle
Yep.
and the window seat were available. But
Louder
then
is-
a guy came and he sat at the window and it was the middle seat.
She was able to spill over on both sides, which is
Yes,
good.
it was lovely.
That's
That's like, I'm like hanging over toward the aisle until that cart comes and bangs into you. You're like,
Oh.
okay, now I'm on.
yikes.
Can we have just a little more room in a plane?
No.
You know, it's almost like Americans are getting bigger, and the seats in the space between you and the seat in front of you is getting smaller
Absolutely.
and smaller and smaller. And
Absolutely.
pretty soon, we just need to wrap ourselves up in Saran wrap and get ready. Here we come, like little hors d'oeuvres in a can.
But you're not bitter.
And I did see, and I don't know if I sent it to you. There's a new airline. You pay more money.
Oh, yeah,
I thought about you, Mr. First Class.
I know.
I was like, whoa, how much more? Lot of room.
It's a private jet.
Yeah, it's a
What it
private
comes
jet,
down
and
to.
I'm like, how many people?
20 people,
What's
maybe?
the price we're talking about here?
Well, if it's
would it be worth it to
it's
you?
150 for a standard ticket, they were talking about close to 300. To
That's
take
cheap.
this flight.
That's cheap.
That's not bad. But first class is about the same. First class is nowadays. First class is almost double what a coach seat would cost you.
I
no matter
think
where you go.
I think there's a lot of people out there who go, yes, give me some of that.
Absolutely.
Because I love, and I don't mind small planes. I don't care if it's a 20-passenger plane.
And it's a jet, so it's
Yeah.
smooth. And the TSA line is very short because it's just you and the 19 other people that are getting on that plane, and it's TSA approved screening, but it's not them
they
giving
don't
you
go
the
through.
pat down.
Yeah,
or
they
any
don't
of
give you all of
nonsense.
that.
Yeah. If we ever get that at the Birmingham airport,
I'm
I will be
in.
among the first on that plane.
I am in.
Count me in. All right.
Where are we going?
8:54. How about the Jeff joke of the day? You promised it.
You want the
and
Jeff
then you
joke
left
of the
us
day?
hanging.
No, you didn't give me time to do it.
Oh, I
It's
didn't.
all
It's
on you.
my fault. I
That's
see how
right.
things
Don't
are.
you know how this works,
All
Richard?
righty then.
All right, Jeff joke of the day is this.
Mm-hmm.
Why did Santa go to the podiatrist?
Why?
Because he had mistletoes. Oh, Steve.
Jeff, I hold you to a higher standard.
And here's what he said next. Do
Yeah.
you know how hard it is to find a clean Christmas joke?
Well,
That
that I
you
can
can
understand,
air
but
on
I
the
hold
radio,
you to a higher
that
standard.
you can
man.
read on the radio.
Uh-huh.
I know it's getting tougher because he's already given us his best, and we've got days to go before Christmas.
Yeah, well, to give you an idea of just how difficult it is, Roger sends this one along. Why did Santa pick Rudolph to lead the reindeer? He only needed one 9-volt battery. See, it's harder than it looks, Roger.
It is. It's a lot harder.
Yeah.
Roger, that was not a good joke.
Yeah,
Jeff's cute.
it was okay.
It was cute.
I don't think it's that cute.
Listen, I get to judge too. You can say it's not,
Yes.
and Steve can give him the crickets, and I like the joke.
Clearly, you're incorrect because both Steve
Clearly,
and I are on the same side.
Clearly,
here.
I get an opinion, and clearly, I think that's funny. And I think that there are some people going, "Thank you, Jeff, for keeping it clean and cute."
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jeff. Check is in the mail.
Why were Santa's reindeer mad at their wives?
Why, Richard?
I don't know. It's one of those jokes you can't tell on the radio.
That was bad.
Oh, baby.
Not good.
Hey, good news here. Police have made a major breakthrough in the shooting of NFL star Chris Boyd, a suspect busted in Buffalo. The NFL cornerback, let's get that clear, was left fighting for his life in the early hours of November 16th after being struck in the stomach outside a restaurant in Midtown Manhattan. On Monday, the New York Post reported that a 20-year-old man is being brought into New York to face charges over the shooting, which took place outside Asian restaurant Silas.
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 Is that maybe see less?
Say less.
Because it makes sense. You know, it'd be funny if it was see less.
Boyd, who recently became a father, was out in New York City alongside fellow Jets star Jamie and Sherwood and Irvin Charles when a scuffle reportedly broke out with another group. The Post claims they mocked the players' fancy clothes. Well, there you go.
Well, don't mess with their fancy
that's-
clothes. We're getting
yeah.
in an argument over
Yes.
fancy clothes and somebody pulls a
Really?
gun.
That's
This is so.
that's obvious. I mean, what else would you
wrong.
do? Obviously,
You
you're,
pull a gun because you're making fun of the
you're
players.
making fun of somebody's clothes, and then they get upset with you. And the only real response there is to that is to pull a gun. I think that's obviously at that point. What else can you do?
Walk away and keep your mouth
Just
shut.
Walk away.
Oh yeah, there's a
You
possibility.
know, hey, have you a fist fight? That's better than pulling a gun and killing somebody. Have a fist fight. Say you're a jerk. You're a jerk. Okay. Then here's what you get, and then you start a fist fight.
George Wallace.
No, it just goes straight to the gun.
Comedian George Wallace used to talk about that. He says, back in my day, we'd get into fights, and by the end of it, we were best friends. Nowadays, you get into a fight, someone pulls a gun, you shoot him, you got no one to play with now. That's a terrible idea. You can't do that. That's exactly right.
Oh, you got somebody to play with. You're going to jail, and
No,
that's the person you're going to be playing
your
with.
Well, somebody's going to be
cellmate.
playing with you.
Yeah,
Right.
your cellmate, Dr. Meat.
Whoa.
Yeah, you're going to be purchasing your virginity with packs of Pall Malls for the rest of your life. Yikes! No, thank you. Anyway, that's good news. They got a suspect in custody.
That
I'm
is good
glad
news.
Glad to see that. Let's see what else we got. I got a couple of other texts that have come in here. Roger says you can all bite me.
Well,
Because we
Roger.
didn't like his joke, I guess.
Roger.
Jeff sends along his thanks and appreciation for
You know what? You're welcome, Jeff. He says,
liking
"Thanks,
his
pal."
joke.
Yes, I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate Jeff.
Now, here's a good
Oh,
Christmas
I appreciate
joke.
Jeff. I appreciate his contributions, but I hold him to a higher standard.
Now, see, Rick gets it. Rick has got the Christmas joke of the day here. If athletes get athlete's foot, what do astronauts get? Mistletoe. See, that makes sense. Valerie didn't care for that.
No, I would have given that crickets.
Hmm.
Not a lot of Christmas in that other than mistletoe.
Well, mistletoe, that's all the Christmas
and he
you
stole
need.
Jeff's joke.
That's
He took Jeff's joke, the punchline mistletoe,
He improved
and made
it.
his own joke.
He improved it is what he did.
In your
He
opinion,
improved upon Jeff's joke. He took the astronaut
Jeff, you don't have to
aspect
take
of it.
this. That's all I know, Jeff. You do not have to take this abuse.
No, you don't. I agree. While you can always turn the radio off.
No, where are you sending him? Or the app. Don't do that.
Thomas
Leave the
says-
app on and the radio on.
While in the 82nd Airborne Division, America's Guard of Honor, my room was full of rough, tough paratroopers watching the Muppets every evening from 1977 to 1978.
You know what?
Excellent.
You would need to.
Yeah.
You need a real checkout.
Somehow,
That would be it.
You gotta get away from reality for a
Mm-hmm.
minute or two, and nothing like a talking frog. Roger says that one sucked. Oh, come on, Roger. The answer, by the way, is because while they were pulling Santa's sleigh, they went into town to blow a few bucks. So, 9 o'clock, Dixon
You
inviting.
gotta go
Talk
dirty. You were
99.5.
telling
What?
Jeff to keep it clean.
What are you
and
talking about?
You go dirty.
I have no idea what you're
What
talking
is
about.
that?
What?